So after we released a hint at the new logo and some photographs of the new logo we've done and the branding that came out of that, a lot of people commented and said they're very interested in hearing about the symbology of that logo. So to that end, I'd like to take some time to explain what that logo is about. If you want to see the full video and a complete explanation of what the logo is about, please hop over to our YouTube channel where the full video will be there. And if you are already on YouTube and listening to this, keep in mind that it'll go into even greater depth on Patreon. So with that said and aside, the essence is that I'm going to move from the outside inward. Along the outside of our logo is the so-called crown, or the spiky bit. That crown symbolizes the crown of responsibility we wear in what we do and how we do it. It's very important that we don't make light of the responsibility we have. The work I do, the work we do can influence and affect somebody's freedom or can cause somebody to suffer, enormous losses. So it's a very big crown to wear. It's a great responsibility, and we don't want to take that lightly. Our name, IBF Investigations, and our URL, ibfusa.info, is encased in two circles or rings. Those rings indicate and symbolize the approach that we have to the work we do. We like to enclose everything in the work we do. I have the philosophy, or I use the philosophy, that I'd rather have it and not need it than need it not have it. And it's very important to realize that we do not know what will happen in court one day. So it's ideal to try to do investigations and analyses with an anticipation for whatever is possible. This is why our investigations have been very detailed in the past. Inside of that, we have the 6 stars. The 6 stars represent the hexagonal shape, or the shape that we know from nature to be a very strong shape in almost every design, from diamonds to carbon fiber to even various kinds of designs. And what that symbolizes is the strength that we have to have and the resolve we have to have when we do what we do. I often face scrutiny because of the confrontational legal system we work within. And obviously I'm confronted in court a lot, and you have to have strength and resilience to survive that. From there, we go to the 2 wreaths that surround our shield. The 2 wreaths essentially represent a natural reference to the lives that have been lost and the many ways in which lives are lost in and around road traffic collisions, hijackings, and attacks. And we want to acknowledge those people, and it symbolizes life, the very thing we have to celebrate. The scroll at the bottom has the term res ipsa locita on it, which means the facts speak for themselves, which is essentially symbolic of the result of a proper investigation. If a proper investigation is done, if a proper analysis is done, then as far as the court case and trial is concerned, that should represent all the evidence, or rather the facts should speak for themselves. Sometimes it's difficult to interpret, but that's why proper investigation is so important. The eagle at the bottom, the top of our shield, represents and symbolizes a top-down view, or looking down upon everything we do. We have to stand above the work we do. We have to be elevated to the point where when we look down on the case, we see it from above. We don't get involved in it. It's very easy to be affected by the parties involved and the emotions that go along with the loss of life, for instance. And we often are in an unfortunate position where we have to say to clients, while we understand, respect, and expect even that the loss of your mother, father, child, brother, or sister is terrible and disturbing, the truth is that we cannot engage ourselves in those emotions. I have to treat the facts as they stand. I have to look at everything from above, including the things you could be wrong about. So it's a good symbolism, or good symbol for our interest, or rather our focus on looking at things from above rather than being involved. That brings us to the end of the YouTube video. We are going to be discussing the shield in detail in the Patreon video. If you want to watch that, hop over to the Patreon channel and we'll get into the specifics of what's contained in the shield.